represent the owner of 20 Moon Street. It is right next to the single-family new residential building that was just built. So this is not our project. Fortunately, the owner is not able to be here today. Ashton, he couldn't be here tonight, so he apologizes. So I'm here on his behalf. So we have a petition that we filed with ISP and respectfully requesting your support. We are changing the legal occupancy of this property from 4 residential units in a commercial space to 5 residential units.
It's technically off the cross and physically across the level.
There's been, the commercial space is actually the garden level, and it's been a commercial space for well beyond my time, and I couldn't tell you what was there even when I was a kid and even before I was a kid. And it's a commercial space that never really hasn't been used, but it's been, the living space has been part of the building for as long as it can be. That's why we don't see, usually when we change the occupancy, we see an FAR violation. That's why you don't see an FAR violation.
Can you make it any smaller?
I apologize.
Can you make it any smaller?
I try to make it as small as I can, Marie, because I know you have difficulty, but it's the standard 11 by 17. So the commercial, so what we did a few years ago is we expanded the first floor unit into the garden unit, and we created a duplex unit, and we kept some of the commercial space for an office space. However, there's been a for-rent sign on that commercial space, for the last few years, and just unable to rent a small commercial space, wanted to try to rent it as an office. So I think the best thing, what he wanted to do is change that garden level. When I say garden level, 22% of it is below grade. It has full windows, and make it a full-size unit, which is approximately about 800 square feet unit. And then the floors upstairs will remain the same, 1-bedroom residential unit. As you can see, it's not a violation. It's an allowable use. It's in a multifamily residential subdivision, so there's no violation of changing that commercial space to residential. The most significant thing that you're going to see is the violation is what's called as a rooftop structure, something that I just went over with the last petition of 27 cheat sheet. We actually proposed two roof decks. One is the building, the garden level, it goes back, but going up on the first floor, second floor, and third floor, they don't go back all the way to the property line. It's probably set back about 20 feet. So the first roof deck, we'll call it, is going to be for the first floor, not the garden unit, but the first floor unit, and you're going to be able to go out, walk out into the first floor unit, and you're really sitting on top of the roof of the garden unit. It's going to be a little open space there for that exclusive use of that residential unit. The second deck that is going to be on the roof will be the exclusive use of the top floor unit. And so you're not going to be able to climb the stairs and get up the common area, walk up there. You're going to be blocked off. You're not going to be able to get up there. So that's going to be the exclusive use for the top floor unit. So that's why you see 2 roof structure violations. One is the deck, the open space, which is for the first floor residential unit, which really when the deck is, it's on the roof of the garden unit, and the second one is the top floor. You have a rear yard sufficient in this sub-district. I think it's 12. So by putting the roof deck, when you go back behind the Moon Street property, it's not necessarily a courtyard, but it is open space, and it's the back of like properties on Fleet Street. So you have to have 12 feet to that property line. By putting that deck, it creates a violation of the rear yard insufficient. So we'll be seeking relief from that zoning code violation.
This is the corner of Fleet Moon?
It's not the corner. So if you're at Fleet and Moon, there's Chris Young's building at the corner, then there's one building, and then we're the next one over. So we have
Right next to the new.
We have bought the
16
new.
Moon, the monstrosity.
We're right to the right. So
That's what I thought.
you're right. There's a walkway, which is our second means of egress, and then we have bought that. So, and then the head house is not changing. The height of the building is below 55 feet, and it's not changing the structure.
The size of the unit are changing.
The size of the units are remaining the same.
Did you have one of the butters for it?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
have
we have-
somebody today.
Oh, okay.
I got one call, so when I first sent out my notice, my email, and phone number, I got one call from one of our directors across the street, and these butters.
The building's behind, like behind
Fleet Street.
Yeah, like no, Fleet Street, so none of that.
So they were notified, yeah.
Because I mean, I would assume that a roof deck, like especially low like that, because of that area behind.
Right, so
None of that roof deck
today, there are windows
Wow,
back
yeah,
there.
like, so they.
So I Google, when I send out my notices, I Google map, you know, who I believe will be affected, and then I sent it all. You got Lasuma, Barbara Lasuma still lives there, so I mean, she got notice, I mean,
Yeah,
whoever
there's
was
two or
over
three
there.
buildings.
Yeah,
So go Fleet
absolutely.
Street that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, all right, I'm right there.
You're on the other
That's
side.
38, so I'm right at the very end of Moon. So like I can look up Moon from where I live.
Right.
This side.
Yeah.
But you're on the other side, right?
What?
Fleet?
Yeah, I'm across the street, on the same street side as Boston.
Oh, you're on the same side of it.
Yeah, so I'm just like right at the
Yeah.
bottom of that. Like, looking
Right.
off. I don't know if that would be.
Right,
It's not-
I don't know if I said
It would be
the
off,
notice
it would be off
38.
by like one.
Right.
Like one, technically one building or something like
Yeah.
that.
And then you, I think I heard you say the roof deck itself is only for the fourth floor.
So there's exclusive uses for first floor tenant and top floor tenant.
Right, okay. Anyone else on the council?
So there's no construction going on, basically? Just
And
the back
in the
variance,
kitchen,
the roof deck?
right, so what we're doing, yeah, for the roof, for the decks, put the decks in, and then for the garden unit, it just take out the commercial space, put it in the kitchen.
Inside stand, yeah.
Right, and everything else is there,
Were the abutters notified on this?
absolutely,
All the abutters?
I
All
would.
the abutters on Fleet Street?
absolutely. Not every abutter on Fleet Street, but the
Because
the
that's
one,
an adjacent
but the
building.
ones that would be affected by this, absolutely.
And what is it gonna be, 55 feet?
No, it's below that, we're not going up any higher. I mean, I don't know how high the current building is, but I believe it's a 4-story building.
We're not touching it. We're not touching the height.
Yeah, I don't know if I have an elevation here.
Yeah, sort of, if there's a scale that's not going right.
Yeah, I mean, it's below 55 feet, we're not going up anything anyway.
Danny, let's explain this first floor. Can you explain this?
So the first
roof
floor,
deck, can you just
so
explain
the
this?
first floor, so you have the garden, why don't we turn, I think if you turn to the second page, and you'll see the windows that really on grade. That's your garden unit. 22% of that unit is below grade, so it's not considered a basement. That's why it's not a violation when we file and change it to a residential. The next window's up, that's your first floor. So when you go out the back of that unit, you're gonna be sitting on top of the roof of the garden unit.
Okay. And something similar exists already in the building across the street, correct? I think the building on Wood Street has like a kind of first floor.
Right, so the corner building of Moon and Lewis, you know, you got, it sets back from the second story, the upper residence sets back second floor and up. So that's, yeah, very similar. So their second floor, they come out on the roof of the first floor, which is their open space. And that's exactly what's gonna happen here. So if you look at, you know, on the second page, right in the middle picture, it says roof deck, you know, that you're gonna just walk out to the back and you're sitting on the roof of your garden unit, because the building doesn't go all the way back.
Yeah, no,
Clear that up,
no.
okay?
What?
Did
No,
I clear it up?
yeah, no, 'cause I just had to see it in my head, 'cause I just,
Yeah. All right.
so that's why I made the comparison between that's good. The only question I have, so this was always commercial in that first
It was
floor?
always commercial, for as long as I can remember. I remember when we changed it, we expanded the living space from the first floor into the basement, it was already living space, so that's why we don't see an FAR violation, et cetera. So it was always living space. And that's why you don't see, you know, it's not a basement, it's only 22% of it is below grade, so that's why you don't see a violation of a basement unit being forbidden.
This was already classified. I was just gonna say, 'cause it's already classified as a commercial residential, but prior to this year, it's been listed as residential.
No.
That's what I when I do my homework on, that's what I was going on, there's supposed to be 4 to 6 families.
Yeah, I mean, I know the assessing department, with the way they classify their buildings, they go 4 to 6 resident, but it's always been commercial space. I mean, we look at the latest long form dating back, it's always been commercial space, and we've kept that commercial space. The last time we moved forward with a petition to expand living space downstairs, but we wanted to keep an office based on what they're renting office, but it's never been rented. It's not gonna for rent sign on there for since we renovated it. So just wanted to put a kitchen and just make it a unit.
And all the
It's an
units,
allowable unit.
yeah, are all
Yeah.
units that
That would be-
are they all occupied right now, or how many are
Yeah,
occupied?
yeah, they're all occupied from my understanding. Yeah, I don't believe they're not. And this will be the biggest unit in what I explained, this is the only unit that expands all the way out.
I'm still surprised that no one came for the first floor roof deck.
Right.
Because the setup, it seems like, would be an echo chamber down there as opposed to like, probably less of a read than the rooftop
So
itself.
I went back there and I agree, you
Yeah,
know,
but, okay.
you know.
All right. Anyone else on the council? Do you have anyone in the audience that wants to ask Dan a question? Yes, please, just your name and address, please.
Andrea Southwood, 23 Fleet Street.
Excellent.
Thank you for the opportunity to share my concerns about this project. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yeah.
That's pretty good, because 20 feet away from me, you down there, that's how far away the roof deck would be from my living room window. Here's some pictures of my living room window. You taking out?
You can share.
Okay.
That's what I said.
I did not get a notice of the hearing. So, what I'm very concerned about this roof deck. My understanding is that we require a couple of variances
See that?
because of height and other things. And if there's a variance, then the Board of Appeal is going to have to listen about why it should or should not be. And part of the reason that they will consider that it should not be there is such whether a roof structure has potential for significantly restricting light and/or air or adjacent and air flow to adjacent structures and/or significantly restricting views from doors, windows, or balconies. And this is certainly the case in this particular proposal.
Wait, can you repeat actually that whole paragraph, since there was more talking going on? So if you can just repeat
Sure.
that so we
Yeah,
can get it clear.
That's what the Board of Appeals has to consider, which is that they must consider whether the roof structure has potential for significantly restricting light and/or airflow to adjacent structures and/or significantly restricting views from doors, windows, or balconies.
But that structure's already there.
That's correct, but if there's a roof deck on top of that, you're cutting off more than half of my view.
Where are they gonna be building up? Like building a
Well,
platform?
the roof deck is probably, you can build it to its dimensions, according to the code, there's certain dimensions you have to build it. It's not gonna be more than a foot above the current roof, so, yeah.
And it will certainly change the quality of life for not only myself, but all of the abutters. Will be significant. Certainly, in addition to that, the space down below is a small space. There are 4 abutting buildings, all with windows up and down the whole place. If somebody's gonna have a cookout there or a little party, you're all gonna know exactly what's going on. It's a quality of life issue, simply put. And I'm not the only one. There are 4 adjacent buildings that will be affected by both of these proposals. And for that reason, I'm very concerned about it. Not just for myself, but for everybody else. The North End is a pretty tiny place. I don't know if we need to make it any tinier.
Do you own?
I do.
where you live? So is it a condo building?
That's correct, yeah. The unit, 20 Moon Street, I believe is run as an Airbnb, a whole entire structure. So every night I look out upon that and I see different people.
Wait, you're saying that the building right now is
Yes.
being run as an Airbnb?
That's correct.
Do they,
I'm not
Things
aware of
say
it.
about that?
I will contact my client and lodge the lease agreement, but what I'll do is I'll take a copy of that photo and I'll pass it on to the architect.
Have there been discussions about maybe eliminating the roof deck and other garden level deck at all, or is that like something you would consider for your client?
It's not a deal breaker, I mean, I'll talk to the owner and the architect about, tell them that's a concern.
Why is the owner not here today?
One second, can we just have, can I ask Tanya, if you had a question for that, we can hear it, and then, if you want, just that we're all having one conversation. So did you have something that?
No, I was just
Okay.
asking why her neighbors aren't there. I mean, it's surprising to hear. How do you have proof that it's an Airbnb?
I see different people in every night. It's not occupied all the time.
Yeah, go ahead. And then, sorry, so then, the deck issue.
So the deck issue, like I said, I'll bring it to my client, I'll bring it to the architect, I'll let him look at the pictures, if I can have one photo, have a look at the pictures, if there's some alterations that we can make that would accommodate the abutters, then fine, I think we'll do it. Great.
And then Jody?
Why is your client not here today?
He doesn't live here in the neighborhood.
There you go.
Yes.
So thank you very much for your time.
Does anyone else in the audience have any particular questions while Dan's here? I think for this, Dan, and I'll ask the council if they have any comments, but perhaps before we explore both the Airbnb and the possibility of maybe working with some abutters, if she didn't get noticed, I know I may not be around, but she's saying she is, maybe perhaps we can have discussions between you and your client and some of the folks that maybe have issues and
No problem having discussions with my client and table it and try to work somehow, maybe come to some agreement, but I think this council is pretty well, I stand on, my reputation in terms of notice. I do a very good job. I apologize if you didn't get one personally, but I do a pretty good job of making sure that everybody gets noticed. And because I don't want to be in a position that you find yourself in down and someone doesn't have notice, so I do a pretty good job, and I think we'll do it. Where my reputation, notice, but I will
Yes.
make sure if I can get you, I'll give you my card, and you can email me, and we can.
yeah, that's certainly not what I was intending to convey. I just meant that, just be, could have been lost in the mail. There's a lot of issues that come up certainly,
Right,
but
but unfortunately, we sent it to the resident of one.
right. So you never know. I am obviously it's your best interest to notify folks that you do get feedback, so you wouldn't intention not to do it. But so unless the council has any objection, I would elect that perhaps we just table this for those folks to have better discussions and maybe come back with a little bit more information or answers to some of those questions. Yep.
Thank you.
Anyone?
I
I'm
just
sorry.
have
Yep.
one clarifying thing. So you're saying that 20 Moon Street has Airbnb rentals. That's what we're discussing today. There's going to be a roof deck that's literally right there. Are there disturbances that?
I've seen people on the roof, and it's basically like they're in my living room.
Right. Yeah, I can understand why you're here tonight.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so then, and then we can talk about when, the next month.
Pardon?